Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Rifle Chair channel. This episode is going to be about the Cabin Fever Challenge, which is coming in the year 2022. The Cabin Fever Challenge is a celebration of our ancestors, and the one thing we can share with them is the skill achieved through marksmanship. And so the Cabin Fever Challenge is a shooting competition, and it has been operational on an annual basis ever since 2014. We will be recruiting division leaders and technical experts and assistants to help us with this year's match, starting now. And we hope to have ourselves an operational team ready to rock and roll by early to mid-November 2021. The Cabin Fever Challenge has a total of 5 divisions, and each division has a leader. The vintage semi-auto, unlimited, generally those are all semi-automatics. Manual repeating rifles with Division 3, Division 4, which is single-shot rifles, and Division 5, which is muzzleloaders. In the past, there haven't been many competitors in Division 4 and 5, and I would like to see that changed for 2022. The match official for the 2022 Cabin Fever Challenge will be myself, Rifle Chair. But I would also like to recognize and thank Ryan at Orgear for being the match official for 2021. It's a fair amount of work to lead and to organize these competitions, and so I'm very thankful that Ryan stepped in. It was definitely a busy year for me, and I wasn't able to do it myself. I will take it on in 2022, and so I'm looking at developing a team that I can work with, and hopefully many of the 2021 team will also come over and help with 2022. However, I would like to open the floor to a conversation about how it is that we can make the competition better, how we can get sponsorship from companies out there or individuals that are interested in helping to support the competition, and also to individuals or corporations that might be interested in sponsoring the match through the use of private prizes. Something we have kind of tried to stay away from in the past, because ultimately it's not about the prizes, it's about going out, breathing the fresh air, and doing your best and feeling good about it. And ultimately, I mean, you can't really ask for more than that. But if it's possible to obtain prizes, then that would just be cool. It would be nice. So I thought maybe in this video what I would do is maybe kind of talk a little bit about what it's like to organize one of these competitions. You don't see them very often. I'm sure I have observed, and I'm sure that you have observed in 2020 and 2021, kind of a resurgence of online shooting competitions. And there's probably some good reasons for that. One of which is COVID-19. It's made it difficult for people to be able to get out onto an approved gun range and to shoot these kinds of competitions because of that concern. And so therefore we've seen more and more people going out to the outback, remote locations in order to shoot these competitions using austere ranges. Hopefully we don't have this challenge for 2022. However, Murphy's Law dictates that there will be similar circumstances for this coming year. So what is it that the match official and the division leaders need to go through and think about when they're doing this? And so I want to talk about this, because if you're considering possibly becoming a division leader, then this is information that you'll need to know up front. Some of my observations are that you need to have a Google account, because we do all of our file sharing. We maintain a roll of musketry, which is essentially Excel. So you need to know how to use Excel. We have an online system which is secured. where we're able to allow people to come in using their Google accounts and access our files for maintaining the competition. And here's some observations that I've made, which is procrastination. Procrastination, not only from the division leaders like myself, because I procrastinate too. I'm trying not to do that, but you know, it is what it is. But also from the competitors that enter the competition. Traditionally, it's opened January 1st of the new year and extends to the end of March. And what we usually see is, you know, a flat line so far as people entering the competition. It's very, very quiet. And then suddenly in mid-March, we see this huge spike of activity where we have literally hundreds of applications or submissions coming in. And so it's this mad rush towards the end of March to receive all of these scores and then to make sure that those scores are observed, they're viewed, to ensure that they conform to the rule set. And then the role of musketry is updated to include that submission and that competitor's entry. So there's that. I mean, there's this, it's quiet, and then suddenly, boom, it happens and everybody's shooting it and making their submissions. So we may decide to, whenever we assemble a new team, decide to actually look at the term of the competition and determine maybe it only needs to be 1 month because, you know, so, you know, anyway, the point of the conversation is that that is a phenomenon I don't think is going to change. Honestly, I think people are looking out their window in January and seeing the blizzard, you know, shooting by with sideways snow and snow dunes everywhere, is that it's not very appealing to necessarily go out and shoot in those conditions. I think it's fun to do it because it's a test. You're testing yourself, you're testing your gear to see how well it can run in those kind of environmentals. Definitely in Canada, it's like that. Northern United States, it's like that. Interior of United States. Finland, Sweden, those kinds of places, they got snow up to here, right? So it's kind of fun to shoot in those kind of environmental circumstances. But sometimes you look out the window and say, no, maybe I'll just wait until mid-March before I make the attempt, when things start to settle down just a little bit. So that's one. There's definitely a peak of activity, and it's usually within the first, you know, I should say 2 weeks of the end of March. That's when most of the submissions come in. And so if you're not on top of looking into the Gmail account that we have to receive submissions, and if you're not updating the Excel spreadsheet, and if you wait to the very end, you've got this mountain of work to do. So staying on top of it and being disciplined that way, of receiving scores, observing the person shooting it, making sure they conform to the rule set, and then updating our database. Division leaders also need to be fairly well versed with video editing software. Most of these division leaders have gun-related YouTube channels, and so they're already familiar with that. And so that's usually not a problem. But if you want to splice, bring in music and kind of transition between scenes, you know, maybe you want to capture or crop a certain part of a person's submission because, you know, for one reason or another, the quality of the submission isn't very good. You want to zoom in on the window that is interesting to the viewer so that you can see it in detail. Those kinds of things is that a division leader needs to be able to play and edit with the imagery that we have to work with. They need to be able to download it from YouTube or wherever the source file may be. They need to have good communication skills. So whether it's speaking with not an applicant, but a submission, a score submission for whatever division that they're going to be in charge of, they need to be able to have those conversations with the participant. I mean, for example, if they haven't conformed to a rule set, or if you want to be able to see a picture of their target so you can see the bullet strikes and you can count them, then you need to be able to contact them. So, but we'll have all of that information as part of their submission. If submissions are incomplete, then honestly, it comes down to a conversation with the match official. And we'll get together and we'll have meetings as division leaders to discuss the submission if you perceive that there's a problem with it. So you don't need to be isolated and work separately from all of the other division leaders. We are literally a team. We'll back one another up. We'll do peer reviews of submissions if we think there's a concern, because ultimately all of us will get together and determine whether somebody is disqualified because they haven't observed the rules perfectly. Okay? So having some kind of difficult conversations with people that may need to be disqualified, as a division leader, you may need to do that. So other things to take into consideration when we are facilitating these conversations is the fact that we need to get together and meet and have conversations about what's going on, and have conversations so that we're familiar with the rule set as division leaders, so that we can interpret and apply the rules consistently across the board between divisions. Division leaders also need to be an advocate of the competition. So if you're in Division 4 single shot rifles, or in Division 5, for example, muzzleloaders, you may want to go to social media sites that actually discuss those disciplines and advertise the competition. Get the word out there so people know about it. I think that's a big problem that we have, is our ability to communicate with kind of these interest groups with single shot rifles, 1874 Sharps, 1885 Winchester high walls, low walls, the Martini Henry genre of rifles. We should be able to tap into those different groups and say, hey guys, we got a competition. Why don't you come out and shoot it? But the muzzleloader groups, there's so many people out there interested in muzzleloading. We don't see them. They don't come to the competition because they simply don't know about it. And so having 1 or 2 submissions per division, it's not great. We want to see more shooters be involved. It's more interesting for everyone. And essentially what we're trying to ascertain is kind of what are the limitations of each kind of rifle system that people are using in the competition. So if it's a Brown Bess muzzleloader, what is it that they're having to do in order to actually meet the rule set and do it as safely and as quickly as possible while hitting the target? So I'm really seriously interested in that, and I would like to see more people shoot it, because I want to know what those rifles are capable of and what the shooter is capable of. How are they doing it? What are you going to do, and how are you going to do it? So I think being a division leader is a really interesting job to do. As the event official for this year, traditionally I have also acted as a division leader. I won't this year though, so somebody's going to need to take on my role. In the past, having been a Division 3 leader for manual repeating rifles, I will not be able to do it this year because I'm the match official. So we need more division leaders. And so if you are an inspiring person who has good firearm handling drills, you're very, very safe. We want to encourage an atmosphere or a culture of safety. And the way we do that is by demonstrating it ourselves. And if you're unable to demonstrate safety and be a part of the safety culture of firearm safety, then we will not be terribly inclined to accept you as a division leader, because we want to be able to go to your YouTube group or whatever kind of group you've got and look at your videos and say, yes, that person is demonstrating safe handling drills. They're a safe person. Let's bring them onto the team and make them a division leader. We've got their application. So I encourage you, people that kind of meet that definition, to encourage you to apply and to advocate for the match, whatever discipline that is you would like to do. Let us know. Division 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And send it to our email account, which I'll include down below. Send us an email and let us know who you are. Where's your YouTube channel, or whatever, Vimeo or BitChute or Rumble or whatever whatever platform you prefer to use. Let us know who you are, what you're interested in, and we'll have a conversation. Ultimately, that's what it's all about. That's where wonderful things begin. But it's not just there. For 2022, what I would like to also have is when we have our meetings as division leaders and match officials, I would like to make them public so people can actually, comment while we're actually having a live stream, having these conversations, kind of digging into a section of the rule set, or trying to paint a picture of how we think things need to look this year. Even if it's just maybe making the timing window shorter for the competition. Maybe we want to start at March 31st and end at March 1st and end at March 31st. So 1 month instead of 3 maybe. Maybe that's the kind of stuff we should be talking about. So I'd like to make those meetings public so that you as the participants, the people who are interested in coming in, can actually comment on this on the agenda that we've set for the meeting and give us your feedback. And we can deliberate it and make decisions live, all as participants and division leaders all at the same time. So having people with those kinds of technical expertise that can help us to set up those meetings so we can have those live feeds and discuss those kinds of things would be great. So we're not just looking for division leaders, we're also looking for people that have the technical skills to be able to help us with those things. Subject matter experts, for example. So, division leaders will need to have the technology available to them to be able to be able to come into the meeting and have a camera in front of their computer so that we can actually see you when you're speaking, so we can hear what your vision is for the division. Very, very, should we say, inclusive with our competitors, all in the same room. So that's kind of what I've got going on the gray space here between the ears. That's essentially it, folks. So if you know of somebody that you think would be a great division leader, maybe you send this link to them. Send them the information to the Cabin Fever Challenge. There's some great channels out there with fantastic content creators that really are an inspiration to see their videos. Just the cinematography that they use, the music. Just some of them are just they're artists. They really truly are, and they're a great asset to our community. So spread the word, let people know, and if you're interested, contact me directly. There is information about the Cabin Fever Challenge on riflechair.com. Right here, riflechair.com. Feel free to drop me a line. Get in contact with me. Use the Gmail account down below, or just also PM me on Facebook. You can go straight to our Cabin Fever Challenge Facebook group, or you can get a hold of me as Rifle Chair on Facebook as well. So those are all kinds of different avenues to get a hold of us. I'm forgetting something. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, if you want to also, this is what I want to do. I want every division leader to get a Cabin Fever Challenge t-shirt. And so it's one of my goals is to, even if you're not going to shoot the match, but you want to support it, every dollar that is earned from participants buying a t-shirt, not necessarily this one, but a Cabin Fever Challenge t-shirt. I have partnered with Zazzle.ca to actually, we have a Cabin Fever Challenge t-shirt now. You go on to Zazzle, I'll put a little picture, where is it, over here, so you can see what the t-shirt looks like. You can customize it, colors, all those different kinds of things. You got all the logos, you got the fancy schmancy t-shirt. All of the revenue that comes from that t-shirt, I want to use to buy our division leaders a t-shirt. So it's free of charge. They're donating their time to be a division leader, their resources, their software, their computer, the rifles, their ammunition, all of this different stuff. They're donating their time. The least that we can do is get them a t-shirt to say thank you. So that's my plan. So help us out. buy the t-shirts. The money that is raised through from t-shirt sales, I'm going to invest in our division leaders to say thank you. That's it, folks. Let me know what you're thinking. Cheers, and as always, Maple Leaf up.